Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I'm joined once again by Charlie from Wargames Atlantic. Hiya. And we
No
are going
jazz
to
hands
be
this time.
no jazz hands this time, but we're going to be doing digital jazz, as a great man once said.
All
We're
the
going to be
sizzle.
looking at the upcoming stretch goals for the Damned
The
crowdfunding
damned
campaign.
stretch goals.
Yeah. And now we will preface this at the time of recording, the campaign hasn't gone live. So
No.
we're just going to start talking about some of the stuff, and I can show you some stuff. And it may be that these have already been blown past, or some of them may be exciting and new. Who knows? But we'll be talking about things even I haven't seen, because presumably they're still being sculpted.
Yes, I was going to say, I think even if it's, in the first few days of the campaign, I think there's still stuff we've got held back in reserve that I'm more than happy to talk about.
Oh,
So,
that's all good.
it's the carrot. It's the carrot.
It is the carrot. And we're going to start off with, what do you say, the carrot? It's a dependable vegetable. It's something that everybody needs to have in their cupboard. And
Indeed.
likewise, the first stretch goals that we're going to be looking at is the maybe not the most glamorous, but bases. They are required
Bases.
by everybody.
I
And
thought you were going to make a joke about horses and carrots there. I was thinking it was, okay.
No, I decided to go another way. They may not be flashy, but everybody loves them. Everybody wants them. And everybody needs them to get their miniatures upright and on the table.
That's it.
So you've got a range of bases coming in, stretch goals.
Yeah. Now, so I mean, they're not exciting, in terms of like the whole point is we didn't want them to be exciting. These are the gamer's base. We wanted them to be super simple, thinking about model placement on a base. Like if you've ever bought sculpted, resin bases, or even sculpted, plastic bases from wherever you might get them, there's nothing worse than trying to find that one connection point that you can get at least 1 foot glued flat down to the base. Because there's like bits of skulls or rocks or part of a tank stuck to the base. Like these are.
It looks fantastic until you have to actually use them.
Yes. Now these don't look fantastic until you actually have to use them.
Yes.
And then when you're using it, you think, actually, I've now just saved myself so much time in not having to PVA the bases. I'm not sprinkling sand and getting it all over my desktop or all over my kitchen table and being absolutely lambasted by mum, dad, husband, wife, whoever, because there's sand everywhere and we've not been to the beach for 6 months because the weather's horrendous. So it's definitely you gluing your bases again. We don't have to do that. You just hit it with a spray primer, give it a base coat if you want to change the color, and give it a dry brush and a wash, and there you go, you're done.
And off you go. Yeah.
And the beauty of them being, as they are, like the detail will be really deep. You won't be able to see it in the renders.
Yeah.
But the detail will be super deep, so that when you're dry brushing it, it'll pick up the dry brush really, really quickly and really easily. And those bases could be sand, they could be mud, they could be gravel, they could be red as Mars, they could be purple, so like some other weird alien planet. There could be snow. We could stick them white with a bit of a blue wash in there and dry brush the white back up again. It's your options are endless. And if you want to dress them up, you can dress them up because they're nice and simple. If you want to stick some skulls on there, fill your boots, put some skulls on there. If you want to use some spare helmets from your grognard sprue and put some helmets glittered about the base, go for it.
Or empty bottles of wine all over the place.
Empty bottles of wine.
Grognard line. Oh, poor grognards. But you're right though. It's a nice ubiquitous style that will fit anything. So it's not tying the bases and the miniatures to any particular setting. So if people are using these for Xenos Rampant and they have a very set game style and they've already got minis out there for X, Y, or Z, then you can dress them as you need to dress them, but it just takes a bit of the heavy lifting and adds. It's nice. nice additional bit of detail.
It is, and I'm joking saying that they're not exciting, but I am genuinely really excited about them. Because they're meant to be generic. They will be available separately, so you'll be able to. If somebody just wanted to come along and back the campaign just for bases, we'll give you the chance to do that. There will be a base, but the second that first set of bases gets unlocked, there'll be a bundle to be able to pick and mix from any of the future sets that get unlocked of bases. So you'd be like, right, I want 4 boxes of bases. I want 25 mil, I want 40 mil, and I want some lozenge bases. I'll stick another box of 25 mil in there because who doesn't need plenty of 25 mil bases?
Always.
Yeah, there you go, done. And it's I'm genuinely actually really excited. I think the box of 25 mil bases will have 48 textured bases in it.
Oh, so, right. That is going to do a heck of a lot right off the bat.
And every backer will get a free sprue of bases as soon as it gets unlocked as well. So everyone's going to get some free bases regardless, straight into their pledge.
Happy days. So not all the bases will unlock at the same time. Presumably some of them will be tied to other unlocks and miniatures, I suppose.
Yes, so they'll see as the campaign moves on. So we've got 4. I think we've got 5 base types. We've got the 25 mil. We've got 25 by 50 lozenge bases, 40 mil bases. I want to say 50 mil. Hang on 2 seconds. 50s, and then that weird size of 32 mil base because there's a 32 mil base out there in the world.
There is these days, yeah. So the second base doesn't unlock until after you've got something to stick on it.
Indeed, yes.
So these ones are a big one. The minute we've seen these, the minute Lloyd's seen these, Lloyd's little heart leapt with joy at the idea of getting his hand on some gas mask wearing horses.
Brilliant.
Because he has so many projects he's been waiting on for so long, and he refuses to buy resin or 3D print. So it's like, oh, plastic, you say, that I can do stuff with?
There you go. And he'll be overjoyed because the horse is separate to the riders.
I was going to ask this because you have a really nice set of horses already.
We do, yes.
Of which I'm currently making a load for a Wild West game.
There you go.
So will it be the standard horse sprue, and then these are all additional components then?
Yes. Because the great thing about that is it means we can fill the frame full of loads of extra bits. So you will get the heads to replace the existing horse heads if you want to. You don't have to. Leave the existing horse heads on if you want. But yeah, the idea is you just replace the heads from the existing horses. And then, as I said, there's going to probably be like twice as many parts as this. There'll be three bodies, 3 riders to a frame, but there'll be loads more weapon and head options added into that frame. So again, tons of options and customizable across the entire range. So you can take your weapons arms from this frame and add them to your infantry. You can take the infantry weapons arms and add them to the bodies from this frame. Go nuts. Go absolutely nuts.
I really like these, and it's me being me. It's odd things that I really like. Things like what appears to be the saddlebags.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy the old Napoleonics and that sort of thing. But then I'm also a big fan of The Walking Dead and The Kingdom.
Yes.
And the idea of post-apocalyptic people going, you know what, cavalry works. The best part about cavalry is you don't need to be able to find fuel to make them work.
For it in a post-apocalyptic world.
Those horses something.
Exactly, yes.
And if it needs to be ground down versions of other horses, then it will be ground down versions of other, omelette and eggs. But yeah, so it's really nice seeing a post-apocalyptic horse sprue. I especially things like the almost AK-like rifles there. It's very Mad Max if set in,
That's it, yeah.
The green belt. Just other people are looking for fuel and somebody's desperately trying to find hay bales. It's just
or carrots if you like. Mutated carrot men.
Yeah. But then we move away from the sort of things that we've seen little previews and snapshots of, because you have a lot of additional plans to really push the Damned further if this blows up. And one of the interesting stretch goals for me is a head sculpt giveaway.
Yes.
So well, I was going to start making random judgments there, but I'll actually just let you explain it rather than me trying to guess what's going to happen.
It's such a weird one, and we went backwards and forwards on how do you get this worded right so people understand exactly what this is, and obviously the best way is always to do it with a photo. So hopefully Justin can also bring up the preview page, because the graphic from that is great, because it goes like Matt and Dave's head to what Matt and Dave asked for.
Yes.
To then these really horribly wonderful post-apocalyptic versions of Matt and Dave, or Dave and Matt, depending on which way you're looking at it.
Yeah, it's grim up north, isn't it?
Wow. Super grim. So basically, the idea here is when we hit the stretch goal, probably about 24 hours later, we'll take a list of all of the people that have pledged to that point, throw them into a lottery, and there's loads of wonderful online apps that allow us just to randomly pick a name out, and whoever's name randomly comes out of that list of backers will have the opportunity to have their head or their face, if you want, sculpted onto a damned head. So it needs to look post-apocalyptic. You can't come along and say, I want to look like Bugs Bunny, because this is the Damned. And as terrifying as that actually would probably be.
Very. I'm just thinking of stitching rabbit ears on top of a bald person's head now, like Justin.
So it's got to fit the theme.
Yeah.
So we'll sculpt that head. You'll get a chance to have a few revisions going backwards and forwards with the sculptors, probably around 3 revisions. So the more information that you can give us, the better. The studio will sculpt your head, and then you will be immortalized on the Damned Infantry frame.
So it will drop in there. Everybody will be playing with it.
Yes.
All across the world, people who didn't get in.
Yeah, turn up to your local gaming store to play a game, and somebody's got a damned army, and you line it up against them, and there's like 5 or 6 little miniature yous staring back at you.
I have a sneaking suspicion if you've managed to win this and your friends or opponents are playing you, none of your head will be on somebody's shoulders. There'll be an awful lot of base decoration heads going on.
Indeed, yes. I'm sure. But no, so it's really exciting, because I don't think anything it's been kind of done like this before. And I think the bit for me that's really exciting about it, it's not just having your head sculpted. You can go and pay somebody to do that anytime. It's having that head then placed onto the multi-part hard plastic frames that are going to go into production and be there until the mold is gone, until that product ceases to be relevant anymore. Whoever knows when that might be, in tens and tens of years' time.
Immortalized in plastic.
That's it.
Like a budget version of Han Solo.
Indeed, yes. And you survive the process. No harm will have been caused to the individual involved.
No blindness or anything. Is Matt and Dave going to be on the sprues then somewhere?
Yes.
Or was that just done as a little teaser for?
No. The plan is to stick Matt and Dave on one of them. We don't know which one yet. Maybe the infantry, maybe the command.
Oh, command sprue. You'd have to. You'd want to be on the command sprue, wouldn't you?
So yes, the plan is to stick them on one of the frames too. And I think the team did a phenomenal job of keeping them like in fitting with the theme. And they still look very post-apocalyptic.
The cyber teeth there on
horrible, absolutely terrifying,
chomping away. Who knows what they're made out of?
A thing of nightmares is what that one is.
Very much so. So apart from little cheeky additions like that, like the lottery for the heads, there's also plans for potentially vehicles as well, which is big step for Wargames Atlantic, because I know many people have gone, when are we going to see a tank and the like? And Hudson in the past has said, do you know how many sprues that would take? It's not going to be anytime soon. So how's this going to work? What are we going to be looking at?
That's where all of the investment is from a manufacturing point of view. It's in the actual, cutting of the molds to make the frame. Obviously the ongoing running costs of plastic is what it is. It fluctuates up and down depending on what's going on in the world at the time, etc. But really, the initial investment is where the big investment has to go into it. So that's why vehicles have always been something that, and with vehicles as well, people don't need as many vehicles as they need infantry. It's not the first thing you go to pick up, so it also has that high investment cost, lower ongoing return. But vehicles are cool. And who doesn't want vehicles?
Yeah, true. Well, my horse army doesn't need them for a start, but we'll not worry about them. They're different.
Yeah. Maybe some bigger horses. Trojan horses.
Bigger horses.
Yeah. Mutated giant horse
Shire horses.
Shire horses, yeah. So the vehicle, people will hopefully have seen it by now. It is very versatile. You'll be able to make a troop carrier out of it, like an armored troop carrier out of it. You'll be able to make a down armored troop carrier out of it. So sideless, kind of open topped, I think is the plan. Obviously subject to design limitations, of course. And then it will also have some turret options to give you various, machine gun, cannon, probably flamethrower, energy weapon options on the top of it. So, yeah, really excited about that one. So that's the last kind of miniature model kit of the 8. So just to quickly run through the other ones. So we've got the Outriders, which we've seen. We've then got the Hounds, which right now we can't see, as in you and I. Hopefully by the time people are watching this, the Hounds will be out there. But imagine big alien kind of demonic looking, somewhere between a dog and like a really kind of like panther-esque, like these things are terrifying. And they're huge, they're as big as, you on all fours.
Okay.
They're not small hounds. These things are big. They're going to fill those 25 by 50 mil lozenge bases. And then you'll have a lot of handlers with them. And obviously the kit on the handlers will be interchangeable with all of the other kits. So again, more customization across the range. And I can't remember how many of those are in the box, but there's quite a few, a good amount. Check the Gamefound page to find out.
Yeah.
And then my favorite is the artillery. And imagine typical World War II, World War I, World War II, big, chunky artillery pieces. Some
sort of huge 105 howitzer or
big shells, nice big chunky shells. And they'll also have an option to do a quad auto cannon kind of gun. So like a smaller version, but from the same frame. And then we are trying to squeeze one more on if we can, but it's a bit touch and go whether we'll manage to do that. But the box set from the artillery will allow you to build 3 artillery pieces. So there'll be 3 frames in there, of which you'll have at least 2 options, if not 3. And again, throughout this whole process, we're hoping people will give loads of feedback on what they like and don't like and what they might want to see, and we'll take all of that on board.
Yeah.
And then the final one of those 4 is the vehicle. So that would bring us up to 8 sets. And that's kind of what we set out to do originally.
Yeah.
Then we decided to do sculpted bases. So there's like 5 boxes of sculpted bases, which I think the first 4 will be done by the time we hit the vehicle. And then beyond the vehicle, we've got some other really, really wonderful and crazy ideas, which is one of them is to have your an army painted by the Cult of Paint guys, which is really cool. So you'll go into a lottery to have at least a number of boxes from your pledge.
Mm-hmm.
I can't guarantee if you buy 20 boxes, they're going to paint the whole 20 boxes for you. That's not going to happen. But I think we're looking at about 6 boxes worth of stuff painted by the Cult of Paint guys. And they're the guys that have painted all the dudes in red on the Gamefound page, if you go and have a look. So that's quite exciting. Yep, those ones just there. Who wouldn't want their army?
Big prize.
Yeah, it's a great prize.
Yeah.
We're also doing a second head sculpt giveaway, because if you miss out on the first one, you'll get a chance to have another go.
For the Johnny Come Lately.
Then we've got 3 more sets of models, which may or may not include a box of female infantry, a box of heavy infantry. So imagine like trench raiders,
armored up the wazoo.
Yeah, like big, bulky, armor padded on left, right, and center. Looking terrifyingly resilient. Yeah. And then we're probably going to do some armored infantry. So think post-apocalyptic games like Fallout, like that kind of.
Like the big
diesel punky, steam
suits
punky
and stuff. See, in my head, I immediately thought the Hurt Locker meets Event Horizon.
Yeah.
But no, you're going bigger than that.
Okay. Well, I think Hurt Locker is more like, that's what the
heavy will look
heavy
like.
Infantry would look like. Yes, yeah. The armored infantry are like going to be in like armored suits. You might call them powered suits.
Yeah.
And then, so that's it for model kits. And then we've got some other fun stuff like potentially a mutation sprue. So if you want to go down the more mutant route, there'll be a nice upgrade sprue to mutify your dudes. And then a vehicle, we call it a vehicle upgrade sprue.
Right.
But it's definitely not that. It's to make your vehicles look post-apocalyptic. So you might call it a vehicle downgrade sprue. So, take any vehicle that you want to grab, any model kit in the market, and make them look post-apocalyptic with this sprue full of bits, from spikes to panels to bull bars and fill your boots. Loads of
poor members of the Ramjager tied to the front to be used as bags.
That's it, yeah. Probably grognards, because who likes
yeah. Poor grognards. They always get a kicking all the time. It's an interesting blend of stretch goals and prizes, essentially.
That's it, yeah. So we wanted to kind of
nice.
Yeah, not just do more product over and over again. We're going to give artwork away. There's going to be some signed artwork we've got a couple of artists that we're working with. One of which we've already shown the artwork. It's the brute with the infantryman stuck next to him. But we're working with another artist who's worked for a number of popular tabletop manufacturers as well as card game manufacturers.
Okay.
So he has. There we go. That's the one. That's the original. And then there'll be another piece on top of that. So we'll be giving that away as a nice piece of artwork, probably in postcard version and in an A4. We didn't want to go above an A4 because then you have real issues with keeping it tidy in transport.
Yes.
And not wanting to have to charge extra for doing postage charge. Postage tubes or whatever you want to call them, etc. A nice A4 sheet fits in a box, and we can keep it nice and tidy and clean and undamaged. And am I missing anything? Potentially some scenery, because if it goes that far, then we've got to be prepared to add some more stuff into it. But most of this stuff's all going to be like paid add-ons, so you'll be able to add boxes of it to your pledge, as well as some individual sprues given away for free to backers of from within those boxes too. So hopefully loads to get people excited.
Fantastic stuff. Well, there you have it, folks. The plan is massive. By the end of it all, there should be enough to field pretty much any army for any game that you ever wanted to in a sci-fi or post-apocalyptic future. So it's over to you. if you want to get the damned up there, if you want to lay your hand on a tank or maybe a bunch of mutated Howard armored wearing brutes, then it's all in your hands. It's as far as you can push the guys over at Wargames Atlantic to go. And don't forget to hop over there, hop on the page, and give them feedback as well. Let them know what you think, what works best for you, and they'll take that under advisement as well. And between the community and the company, hopefully we'll get a damned army worthy of our majesty. Until next time, bye-bye.